everyone. Welcome back to MarketAbilities, where we learn, develop, and launch ideas. And speaking of ideas, I kind of wanted to get a little niche today. So I brought on two guests. One guest. I guess Emily's probably been on this more than me. But I've got some brilliant minds in front of me. And we're going to delve into the topic of content creation, okay? Now they both actually do content creation, but it's two kind of diverse and different looks at it. So I want to start with you, Sierra. Would you like to introduce yourself to everyone and kind of what you do?
Yeah, I would love to. So I am Sierra Westhoff, and I post on TikTok. I post mainly lifestyle and kind of fashion content, and I started posting back in, I would say, my senior year of high school, and things have just kind of went off from there.
Okay, awesome. Emily, would you like to inform them kind of what you do as well?
So I mainly post on Meta, so Instagram, Facebook. Also, some of my content goes on TV, so that's super cool. But I kind of got started. It's been about like 10 years or so. My family is a business. We didn't have anybody to do our marketing, so I just kind of took it on. And then that's kind of how I got into this position.
Yeah, so you're kind of a vet in the game a little bit.
A little bit.
Okay, awesome. So I kind of wanted to have you guys bring me back where it all started. So if you kind of think about, that first moment where you decided, hey, I want to give this internet thing a shot. I want to give this content creation thing a shot. Just kind of what inspired you to go that route. We'll start with you.
Okay, so it was about like 5 years ago, and I was about to go off to college, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do or what career field I wanted to get into. So I kind of started diving into social media, and I made like my own Gmail so that I could have a business Gmail. And I just started reaching out to brands every single day. I would pitch to brands, and I would just basically ask like if they had any opportunities out there with content, and that's kind of where I got started in that. And I landed my first brand deal ever, and I remember it was for this adventure challenge book, and it basically gives you all these challenges and stuff that you can go and do like with your significant other, your friends, or they also have one by themselves. And I remember they paid me $100, and I thought that it was the best thing I've ever got.
100, a Benji. There you go.
So yeah, that's kind of where I got into things, and I have just not stopped ever since. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool the first time you get paid off it, right?
Yeah.
It's a good feeling.
I thought I was about to blow up.
Yeah. Well, Emily, what about you?
I was sitting in my bed in my dorm room, and I was on the phone to my parents, and I said, should we have a Facebook page for our pumpkin patch? Because, I just kept seeing different business pages pop up, and they said, yeah, go for it. So I made it, and it started taking off. I'll never forget the first time that we had somebody walk up to us and they said, yeah, we didn't know you were going to be open this weekend, because we opened a weekend earlier than we normally did. So we didn't know that you were going to be open this weekend because, we just saw it on Facebook. So we decided to come out, and, it just kind of took off from there.
So you kind of had like a call to action in a sense. It was more of like, hey, my family has this pumpkin patch. No one's doing this marketing. It's like, well, why don't I just pick up a camera and start doing it,
Right. Well, I didn't use my phone for so long. I actually learned how to edit on my phone before I learned how to edit with a camera. Just because, again, I had no idea that this world kind of existed, I guess you would say. And then after I ended up getting the internship with Growing Media, and then I started learning how to use a camera, then I got it more into, the heavier edits like the Lightroom and Photoshop and Premiere Pro and all that.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. So what do you guys think? Okay. So, you started 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. How long ago did you start?
I would say about 5-ish years.
Okay, 5 years, 10 years. Okay, I've got a lot of experience at this table. So what I kind of wanted to ask was, the social media landscape is always shifting. The internet's always shifting, what performs well, what does well, what people want to see. Do you think it's more important to be creative or consistent? Now, I really want you to think about that. It's it's the old question of quality or quantity. So you guys tell me what you think.
That's kind of a tricky one because you can be as consistent as you want to, but if your videos are not going towards the people or you're not giving your followers what they like, then I feel like it doesn't matter because you won't get anywhere if the content isn't getting pursued beyond your followers. Mm-hmm. But consistency is also very important because every single day, like as long as you post, you're still putting something out there, but is it the best that it could be?
Yeah.
So I would say that sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
I'm thinking. I mean, I would say it's like a 50-50, but maybe just posting in general is important and maybe it doesn't matter as much because you could post something and it could go off and you wouldn't even thought it would go off and be like a viral thing.
Mm-hmm.
See, I would agree with her. You know, the consistency, I think, that's not to say that creativity isn't important. And I think that you do need to have a sense of creativity if you're going to be making content.
I agree.
But I think that, I mean, the more you do something, the better you're going to get at it, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're posting consistently, that's going to improve just by this, you know, by doing it. And I think also too, the landscape of social media, it seems like it is starting to trend more towards authentic content. So people aren't so quick to just, you know, brush something off if there is maybe like a jump cut or like a missed frame or maybe the color's off a little bit or something like that. It seems like people actually resonate with that more just because not only is it something that they could technically do, but it's something that's real, you know, it can be proven to be real.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'd say that like you don't have to have it perfect, but put out content that you would want to watch yourself, like all the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I think that that's very insightful because, you know, I guess to compare it to like an analogy, you could have the Mona Lisa sitting in your attic. But if nobody ever sees it, then do you really have the Mona Lisa? You know what I'm saying? It's like people create things that are so great. There's more creatives out there than I think any of us even really truly realize. But a lot of people never even have the confidence to go and put that out there, to give it a chance, you know? And so I think going back to what you're saying with the 50-50, I think in a sense, you're 100% right. But at the same time, if you don't have consistency, you know, with the creativity, you have a 0% chance, you know, because you can be consistent and put out mediocre stuff. It might not do well, but I mean, you're still getting shots.
Like you're
up.
still doing
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Like there's people out there that don't do anything. So it's like if you're posting and you're trying, there's opportunity out there for you.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you mentioned even like a bag of chips reel or something that you did. Like, you know, I mean, I feel like that's not.
This is so embarrassing.
No, it's cool.
It's actually really,
it's
really
crazy.
cool.
Yeah.
So I posted this video. Literally, I was eating a bag of chips and some French onion dip. Yeah. And I had just gotten off work at my serving job, and I just put my phone up and I put it in 2x speed, and I just was munching on this, and I posted it. And it went to 2 million views. And I would have never thought me eating a bag of chips. That's so bad. But
It's good
it's
though.
just, it shows that you can literally post anything and it could really do well. It just depends on where the audience is.
Going back to the, you know, and you've made some really good TikToks, like things that you thought about and scripted, and, you know, it is, you know, art in a sense. But it goes back to the whole quantity over quality thing, you know, like if you compare that video, is that your favorite TikTok you've ever made? Have you eaten a bag of chips? And
No, definitely not.
Not at all. But, you know, it's out there. And then in turn, it blew up and got that traction. So you really never know.
I also have another one I would like to mention.
Okay.
So, I love coffee. I love making like little drink videos. Okay. So I would always go to Dunkin' and I would just go through and get a drink, and then like I would make up some like weird concoctions of stuff like that I would put together. And this day I put like blueberry and butter pecan together, and I made a video about it. And I just took the straw wrapper off, put it into the drink, twirled it around, and then I took a sip. And I posted it and it went viral, and Dunkin' reached out and they wanted to send me a whole box of PR. So again, you're definitely right. Like, it probably isn't 50-50, but I would say that, like, if you care, then post what you like, in that type of area. But also, posting anything and everything can get you somewhere someday.
Yeah, 100%. And, kind of going back to that, specializing in TikTok. And I mean, I'm sure you've done some short form content as well. Guys, I mean, I remember growing up and YouTube was the coolest thing ever. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really, most of the videos that I was watching at a young age were probably 20 to 30 minutes a piece, give or take. And it's crazy because I don't know, do y'all remember when Musical.ly came out and Vine and all that?
Yes.
Y'all remember that?
I was on it.
Well, yeah. So it really, the question I wanted to ask you guys is, like, how do you think short form content has kind of shifted the social media landscape? And do you think it's beneficial for creators, or do you think long-term it kind of hurts creators?
I definitely think that it cannot be argued with the fact that short form content has changed the social media landscape. I mean, think about it, like Facebook used to be mainly text based, maybe some photos. Now they really push the video. Instagram used to only be photos. And now you could argue that Reels is their biggest draw.
Yeah, I agree.
So even like YouTube, they're doing the shorts. Disney Plus, even though that's just a streaming service, they have like Verts, which is just short form vertical content now. I mean, it's the market's made on the social media landscape and beyond is indelible. But I do think that, again, trends come and go. And I think that there's starting to be more of the push for like the authentic, content that lets, things kind of breathe a little bit, like the story build up a little bit. I think that within the next 5 years, we'll kind of see, the quick, punchy, like vertical video. There's still gonna be a place for it, but I don't think it's gonna be as dominant as what it is. And I think it's gonna move back more towards the well thought out, well produced, longer form content.
Long form. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think? You're a big short form content person. I mean, that would technically hurt you in the long run. Or would you pivot?
I'd probably pivot. I used to post on YouTube a little bit, but kind of got embarrassed. So I stopped.
It's the same thing. I mean, you just.
But, well, it's more like authentic on YouTube. Like, you're not cutting and editing everything because it's a long form content.
Yeah, it's impossible to catch everything too, I feel like.
Right. And I would definitely pivot over if, TikTok kind of stopped, back whenever it was, going to get taken down and there was not going to be it anymore. And like multiple people were like, what am I going to do? And most people probably would pivot to, longer form content. So yeah, I would definitely hurt, but I feel like people would do what they could or do what they wanted.
Just evolve to make it, in a sense.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think we're already seeing that though too, just like the start to push. Cause I mean, whenever Instagram first started Reels, they could be no more than 30 seconds or so. Mm-hmm. And then now it went to 90 seconds. And then now I believe it's up to 3 minutes and 3 minutes on Instagram.
I'm pretty sure on TikTok you can post up to 10 minutes of something. Cause you can post like whole movie trailers.
You can go, I think you can go longer on TikTok cause y'all just reminded me of something. I think the other night for the first time ever, I pretty much watched a YouTube video on TikTok.
Yeah, because you can make it a big screen.
It had the button, it said turn it, and then I hit that, and then I sat there and I watched 20 minutes of something, just flew by, and I didn't even realize it. So maybe our attention spans were kind of shortened for a minute, but I feel like there's always a deeper appreciation for well thought out long form content. I mean. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I'm not saying all short form content is, for lack of a better term, like brain garbage, like in one ear out the other. But there is something, because I'm sure you've edited a lot of different kinds of videos. Mm-hmm. You can kind of see more effort more often than not in a long-term piece.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, but I would say it depends because you could film a short video, or no, a long video, but make it into a short, and it could still take just as long because you have to edit 70 minutes of footage down to like, I don't know, 40 seconds.
70 minutes
Yes.
for 40 seconds.
Yes.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
Well, because say you just keep the camera rolling, like you don't ever, shut it off, then it's going to be like that long. And so then you have to go through and cut down and cut down and cut down.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you're adding like sound effects and text and like all that type of stuff, like it can almost be just as much work. But like, I get it. If it's like a longer form video, it's going to take a little bit longer to edit. But the amount of work that's put into each one, I feel like it's about the same.
Yeah. No, I think that's completely fair.
Maybe controversial, but
No,
that's how I feel.
No, and you know what? You should, defend short form content. I mean, that's your landscape,
Well-produced content takes time.
Yeah, no matter what it is. Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll kind of stick with that sort of topic here for a second. So I think I kind of know what your opinion might be on this, but I need to ask it because I've even noticed it. And I think it's affecting the quality of work on TikTok because it's an easy way out to get, big views or whatever. AI, how is AI affecting short-term content? How's that? Good. AI. Am I good? Okay. AI. How is AI affecting short-term content? How is it kind of manipulating the landscape? How are creators utilizing it in a useful manner to supplement their work instead of just replacing it altogether?
Side note, how in depth do you want me to get with this? Because I could get really in depth, but the problem is if I get super in depth, it's going to lean political. So I don't know.
Let's it's okay if there's a little bit of politics in it, but let's keep it not filtered, but just surface. Let's go a little surface with it. Just the general concept, general opinion. Okay, hit me.
Okay, because I'm not gonna lie. Whenever AI very first came out, I was excited about it. I went to an Adobe workshop, one-day conference. Oh, that's the air conditioning.
That's fine.
Is that okay?
That's fine. We'll just denoise.
Okay. I went to an Adobe one day conference deal, and they showed a clip of someone running, and then they showed them tying their shoe, and that them tying their shoe was generated. And I thought that is so cool. That's going to save shots, that could save a whole project if you miss something or if you lose footage. I thought it was awesome. And then I started delving more into it and then learning about the environmental impacts that it was having and the economic impacts that it's having. It's really affecting people in a negative way on the back end. And then on the front end, I do, and this is my personal opinion, but I do think that it's really hurting creativity. Because think about it, I've seen posts about people being I typed into, this is going to feel like an attack. I don't want it to feel like an attack. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
But
let's get spicy.
Yeah. But I've seen people say I went to ChatGPT for an idea and then I went and generated it. You've just completely pulled out all the authenticity of that piece. You didn't create it in your mind. You didn't bring that concept to life. And then you didn't even put the work into, bringing that visual, to being. And
Yeah.
so it's just, I think that, I think it's a trend. It was cool when it came out. You could make your little cat dancing on a planet holding a guitar, whatever. And so it's just
It's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny when it first came out, but I think that is a big driver to people pushing for authentic content and seeing those things again. I mentioned the little jump cuts or the little missed frames, or maybe something was just slightly out of focus. And I think that people really resonate with that realness, So
Yeah.
I think it's a trend. I think it'll always exist in some sort of capacity, but I don't think it's going to exist in any
You think
meaningful.
you think it's a trend in terms of it's just here momentarily and it'll go away?
I think it'll exist in some capacity and in some way, shape, or form. You're going to be able to access it, but
It might get to a point where like you have to like have memberships or like you can't afford it. Just like, ChatGPT, you can obviously get like the plus version, but there's a free version.
See,
But
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
it's fine. It's your world, your oyster.
Your
There you
oyster.
go.
Okay. But anyway, the only way I think that this could be seen as a trend, I'm not going to lie, I do have some questions about it and how ethical it is. And honestly, if I'm being very straightforward, I don't think it's ethical in a lot of ways. I think it's robbing people of work and also talent. But I think that it might be the greatest invention of this decade. I think that the only way this could only be a trend, because of it really is, people are going to use it. People think what's the easiest way. A lot of people, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people were programmed to think what's the easiest way to accomplish something. We're not programmed to make things difficult. And if there's an easier route out, a lot of people are going to take it. The only way I see it ever going away is if it got to the point where it's already dangerous with like deep fakes and things like that. It already is dangerous. But if there was government regulations placed on it, I think that's the only way we ever see a pause in it, because it's gotten to the point where it's hard to differentiate real people from people generated by a prompt. And that is so nuts to me. It's actually crazy because I had a film class earlier this semester and he showed us 10 examples of AI or real or whatever. And this was 6 months ago, something like that. And I remember he had us all vote and I went 10 for 10. And he goes, "Oh, how'd you know that? How'd you know that that was the AI one?" I go, "Because it looks better than the other one. Like it looks more real." I'm like, "That's why it's AI." Because it was crazy. It was like this dish would come out and have like this smoke coming off of it. It was just, I was like, I don't think you could capture it. And if you did, it probably took 100 tries. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go. And it's very interesting. I'm excited to see it, but I also hope it doesn't mean the end of the world or the end of, a lot of jobs for people.
I'm not so much worried about it taking jobs because, let's be honest, like in the creative industry, there's like a huge entry level, right? Like a massive entry level of people who maybe just got a camera, for the first time and they're trying to make a little money or just started messing around with programs on their laptop and like they're not charging what they like quote unquote should be charging for this work because they're not skilled at it yet. They might have some talent, it might still look good, but it's not truly like skilled labor yet, like it would be for someone with a few more years of experience or getting in decades of experience. I've never felt the pressure from AI because like, not to toot my own horn, but I do have years of experience. Someone who's going to pay someone $20 to take photos is never going to book me. I'm not concerned about that. Yeah. What I am concerned about is the infrastructure issues that it's causing for residential areas. My aunt was somebody that was called because the electric company said that said that there was an excessive load on the grid. Mm-hmm. And this was with the winter freeze, everything was really cold. They told her to turn her heat down because it was just taking, they're trying to get the pressure off the grid. The United States does not have appropriate infrastructure to maintain these huge, electricity loads. It's driving up costs for people. It's taking up water. The United States already has like 4,500 data centers. It's more than China, and they're being put in residential areas. Those costs are being, shuffled off to the everyday consumer. I don't think that the economy can handle that, at some point it's just not going to work, and this is going beyond the fact that, you can pay for AI. I know there's like premium subscriptions or, things like that, but not everybody's going to do that. So they're spending trillions of dollars on all of this. And it's just not,
Yeah.
I don't see a way for it to catch up.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair, and I'm very interested to see where it all kind of goes. I did not think this would be something I'd see in my lifetime, to be honest with you. But okay, yeah. I guess lastly, I want to close with kind of more of a lighthearted little thing. So you guys, when you were starting out, there's a lot of people out there that are just starting out, like right now. I just want one quick piece of advice from each of you to someone who wants to get started.
I would say invest in your education first. Whether that is spending time on YouTube videos, whether that's going to, conferences or workshops. You can have the best camera, the best lenses in the world, but if you don't have the education or the knowledge to set your lighting or to, use that gear to the best of its ability, then you're never going to be, more than a beginner. And I think it's a very rewarding career. I would, even with the landscape as it is, I wouldn't be scared of getting into it today. I really encourage people, but just look for, those educational opportunities to learn.
Yeah, that's good advice. What about you?
I agree with that as well, just because, like, if you get into something and you have no idea what you're supposed to do and, like, you will be lost. But I would also say post content that you want to see of, like, yourself. Like, if you're scrolling on, social media, what do you want to see? Or what do you like to watch? Like, I would post the same thing, not exactly, don't copy people or don't, but that's part of, like, trending and, like, trends and stuff. But I would say post content that you want to watch, because then it'll be 10 times more likely that, if people like to watch that person and they have, 200, 300,000 followers, then most likely people will like to watch you as well. Just be authentic and be you, because no one's going to watch someone that is not being themselves.
Yeah.
Because it's eventually going to come out that that's not who you are.
That's very true.
I love that.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice little note to close on. All right, guys. Well, thank you for your time. Thank for
you.
Of course. Thank you for educating me and the audience as well. I believe that's all we have time for here. So we'll see you guys next week. Please like, subscribe, follow, share, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your uncle.
Don't forget about Gigi's, Granny and Grandpa's.
Gigi's. All right, see y'all.
Bye, guys.